just when we thought it was guaranteed that Biden would not step down, none other than George Clooney, famous actor and Democrat megadonor, says that Biden needs to step down. Not only that, but the congressional Democrats opposed to Biden running for re-election is up to 10, which is pretty significant considering there are only about 200 Democrats in the House anyways. And this number is just going to keep going up. It doesn't include Senator Mark Warner, who's been a vocal opponent of Biden, just hasn't specifically said he wants Biden to step down, etc. And due to all this news, the Predictit website has Biden less than 50% chance of being the Democrat nominee once again. So the party is in mayhem, and they're trying to decide who will be the nominee. And it will probably be Kamala Harris. So with that being said, let's see what will happen if Harris runs for the presidency against Donald Trump. Clooney said himself that he loves Joe Biden, but thinks Joe Biden doesn't stand a chance at winning. Well, is he just spewing nonsense, or does Kamala Harris have a better chance at winning? I think the answer is no. But let's see what happens according to the polls, etc. Alright, so luckily there have been a lot more polls conducted since the first time I did this prediction. One with Harris versus Donald Trump, where Donald Trump leads by 4 percentage points. And another with Harris versus Biden in the exact same manner, where Trump only leads by 3. With that being said, Trump leads by a greater margin against Harris than he does against Biden. And there are even more bad polls for Harris, with Harris's probability in many swing states being lower than that of Biden's. However, maybe this is just due to Harris having lower name recognition than Biden. Or maybe it's due to Harris not being officially the nominee. Who knows? But I think this spells disaster for a potential Harris run. So Harris takes home Washington, Oregon, California, Hawaii, Illinois, New York, Vermont, Connecticut, Delaware, Maryland, D.C., Massachusetts, Rhode Island, and Maine's 1st District. Whereas Trump takes home Montana, Idaho, Wyoming, Utah, Alaska, North Dakota, South Dakota, Nebraska, Nebraska's 1st, Nebraska's 3rd, Kansas, Oklahoma, Texas, Louisiana, Arkansas, Missouri, Iowa, Indiana, Kentucky, Ohio, West Virginia, Tennessee, Mississippi, Alabama, and South Carolina, as well as Florida. So Trump is up to 218 electoral votes off the bat, and Harris is at just a mere 167. So disaster is already being spelled out for the Harris camp, even before the battleground states have started being tabulated. So I don't know. I think Harris is going to get destroyed in this election, and let's see. People who are gambling, they say that Harris has a 42% chance of being the nominee, but only a 19% chance of winning. So that's less than a 50% chance, if she's nominated, that she'll actually win the general election. And 19% out of 48 is not very good if you're one of the main party candidates. So for that reason, even the gamblers don't think that Harris stands a solid chance at winning this election, even if she's the nominee. And when you go to the 538 forecast, you see a number of swing states have over a 60% chance of going to Trump in a Trump versus Biden head-to-head matchup, with that being North Carolina, Georgia, and Florida. So, in a Trump versus Harris matchup, Trump would have over 60% chance in every swing state except Michigan and Nevada. So that's pretty bad for Kamala Harris. Kamala Harris also polls way worse in the Midwest than Joe Biden does. And with that being said, that could be due to her background. Her California background, the Midwest really doesn't like that. They want people who resonate more with populism, which Donald Trump does. So Harris doesn't do well in the Midwest. Harris doesn't do well in the West Coast. And she really doesn't do well in the South either. She doesn't do well anywhere except the already safely Democrat states. So, with that being said, I do think she'll win Colorado as well as New Mexico, but not by the usual margins that Biden won in 2020 or even that Clinton won in 2016. I think generally speaking, Harris and Clinton are kind of similar, like with their kind of like optimism in their campaigns. I think they kind of think they're better than Republicans, with like Clinton saying lines like, "Oh, basket of deplorables," we all remember that, etc. I think Harris and Clinton have that same sort of, for lack of a better term, vibe around them. I think they both think they're better than Republicans. They think they're smarter than Republicans, etc. Don't get me wrong, Trump also thinks he's better than Democrats. He thinks he's smarter than Democrats, etc. But that's just something his supporters love about him and that moderate voters hate about him. So if Harris and Clinton in the past aren't able to get moderate voters on their side, that spells disaster for them just due to the sheer size of Trump's base versus the size of their bases in comparison. So that's why Trump being demeaning towards the other party affects him far less than his opponents being demeaning towards Republicans. And for that reason, many, especially in the Midwest, especially in swing states, do not like Kamala Harris. Those who voted for Trump in 2016 but voted for Biden in 2020 will likely circle back to Trump in 2024 against Kamala Harris. So even though she picks up Colorado and New Mexico, Trump is picking up Nevada, he's picking up Arizona, he's picking up Georgia, and he's picking up North Carolina, bringing himself to 267 electoral votes. So already, Harris stands a very minimal chance at winning this election. So let's go back to the forecast. So in the forecast, Harris's largest chance is in Michigan, where she stands a 43% chance. I do think this is probably about right. It does give Trump the lead in Michigan and the victory overall, so Trump makes it to 282 electoral votes. But I'm sure you didn't come here to see that Trump will win. You came here to see by how much Trump would win by. And let's see. So the state of New Jersey will probably go to Harris. There has been recent polls which have Trump and Biden narrowing up in New Jersey, but Harris will probably win in New Jersey. She'll probably get Mikey Sherrill's support, who is very popular in the state of New Jersey. She was, in fact, one of the 10 congressional Democrats that actually called on Biden to step down from this race. And she'll probably win the state of Virginia. Even though Republican and Trump-aligned Glenn Youngkin won Virginia, I think Glenn Youngkin won't be picked for VP because he has his sights set for 2028, and he might view Trump as a little bit of a sinking ship. So for that reason, Harris wins the state of Virginia and brings herself to 209 electoral votes, even though I think Virginia will be closer than it was in 2016 or even 2020. As you can see, in 2016, it was pretty close. Let's look at the rest of the Midwest. So if Harris has a 43% chance at Michigan, she probably has something like a 50% chance at Minnesota. But nonetheless, I think Trump will win the state of Minnesota, bring himself to 292. But Trump will also win the state of Wisconsin, which he's given a 69% chance at, according to the 538 forecast. Moreover, he'll win Pennsylvania. Oil drilling / fracking is an important topic in Pennsylvania, and Trump aligns more with those who participate in oil drilling and fracking. On the contrary, Harris might pull votes from Philadelphia, as Philadelphia votes around 90% to the Democratic Party. So now we just get the rest of the Northeast, and we'll go to Nebraska second. Nebraska second will vote for Trump. It voted for Clinton in 2016, but Biden in 2020. Maine second will also go to Trump. Maine second has a Democrat, but that Democrat, Jared Golden, he's more of a moderate. And then finally, we get to New Hampshire. New Hampshire is very close. Its polling is extremely close. It has Trump up in recent polls, and I think New Hampshire would go to Donald Trump over Harris. Clinton barely won it in 2016, and Clinton barely won Maine in 2016. But I think Harris will win Maine by just a tilt margin. So now Trump wins 327 to 211. So no matter who the Democrats put against Trump, Trump will win. So like, subscribe, and comment for more, and thank you for watching.